Hello everybody, thanks for joining me for another card making video. I have another project for the Not2Shabby shop and you can use coupon code GEN10 to save 10%. So here's the card I'm making today. I'm using the Moo-tiful Buddies stamp set and the corresponding, I think it's called farm phrases, farm sayings, let me grab it, farm puns. And I created a very clean and simple birthday card, belated birthday card actually. So I wanted to color this cow like a Jersey cow, so I'm using some Spectrum Noir markers to do that. I wanted it to have a really pretty brownish color of a Jersey cow. So I chose these colors. I do have Lila on my lap, so for those of you who don't know, I have two black rescued cats. They were bonded sisters. Lila is long-haired and Piper is short-haired, and Lila loves to sit on my lap in the craft room, so I'm not sure if her purring is distracting, but her face is kind of looking near the microphone, so you may hear some purring, and hopefully she stays pretty quiet until the end of the video. Anyways, back to the coloring. So I started off with a light wash of color just because I knew I was using a few colors here and I really wanted it to blend well. So I am just starting, I started with lightest and then I jumped around in this card. I jumped around from lightest to darkest to mid-tone and everything in between. So it's not a really good coloring tutorial to follow, but it will give you a sense of the colors that I used and how you can achieve the same look. But I absolutely fell in love with this stamp set once I started coloring it. I love the eyelashes on the cow, I love the chubby bellies on the mice, and I really like the color palette that I went with for this card as well, and I'm really happy with the end product. So I wanted to make sure that the areas around the eyes were a little bit of a lighter, would you call that like a tan beigey color? And then I'm going to color the bale of hay the same color, just so the color repeats in the card. I'll also be using my Antique Linen Distress Oxide ink for the ground in the background, and that color matches that light tan color as well. I wanted to do the nose in a pinky color, so I'm using FS3, I think. It's really hard to see when you're doing the voiceovers, the numbers of the markers, and I didn't write them down. So I think it's FS3 and FS8. And then I darkened up with a bit darker of a pink for the nose, the tongue, and then I added a little bit inside the ears as well. And that pretty much finishes it for our little Jersey cow, except I am going to do a little tip to tip here on the nose just to kind of get that blending going a bit better, and I'm happy with that. I did take the darkest color, the TN6, and I just added some spots on her back and on the tops of her ears, and then I'm going to use my white Signo gel pen as well to add some white detailing to the eyes and on top of where I did the brown spots as well. So here's where we're going to do the background. This is a very light wash of color. So I'm using my Blueprints 27 dies from MFT for the scalloped panel die. I use this die a lot. Sometimes you just have those staple dies in your stash that you constantly go to. This is one of them, as well as my Lawn Fawn Stitch Rectangle dies. So I'm using Antique Linen for the bottom. And because I colored some of the accessories in blue, I decided to use the Salty Oceans as it was the color that matched the blue that I colored the best. And you can see I just did a very, very light coloring. I wanted the images to really pop and be the focus. So I am stamping out the sentiment "Oh crop," which I got a good kick out of. And I just stamped that twice using my VersaFine black onyx ink, my favorite ink to stamp sentiments with. And then I wanted to use my X-Acto knife here. I wanted to cut a slit under the cow's mouth so that I could stick this gorgeous little arrangement of flowers to look like she's holding the flowers. So you can see I colored the bale of hay and the one flower with the light beigey tan color, and one of the flowers in blue, and I'll repeat that blue color in the balloon and the party hat as well. And I also, in the Farm Pun stamp set, there's this tiny little bouquet of flowers that matches the big one in the full stamp set, and so I'm going to have two of the little mice holding that, like they're giving the cow her belated birthday gift of some flowers, and then this little guy is going to be holding a balloon for her birthday. And I colored the mice in warm grays, and I colored the leaves on the flower bunches with the same color to bring that color in to the flowers as well. So they all kind of tie in together. So this is the main placement. I'm going to add another little mouse onto the bale of hay. And after I completed this card, I looked back at it and I thought I didn't ground the images. So I wanted to have a little conversation about that and your thoughts on grounding images, because a lot of people say if you don't ground them, they look like they're floating. And I say that too, but in this case I feel like you can tell they're on the ground, but I don't know. What is your opinion about that? Do you always have to have shading underneath? I mean, I do it quite a bit. I just didn't in this one. Or does it not bother you? Really curious. So kind of missed the inside of stamping the card, but you see what I did there. I just added the "It's Pasture Birthday" sentiment on the inside, and then I stamped the cow in the antique linen. Just have to trim off that mouse's tail. Added the panel to my card base, and I'm going to add some white gel detail to the balloon and to the mice, and the card's done. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you like. I always enjoy reading everyone's comments. So have a great day, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.